Hey guys, welcome to the Desi Ballers podcast. With me is Gopal. Hey Gopal, what's up?
Hey man, awesome dude. I love it, dude. Ray Allen is in India, so I'm like really excited.
Oh, I had no idea. Uh, is
really?
is Eklavya covering them?
Oh man, that was so fake. We were talking about it. Yeah, man, it was cool. I got to ask some questions on behalf of not just me, also some fan questions. Like the classic one, Nikhil. Like, what was going in your mind? When you hit that shot, or what was it like guarding Kobe in 2008? Stuff like that.
You're
So
crazy. I wouldn't ask such silly questions. You know what I
fan
would
fan
ask Ray Allen?
fan questions. The one I asked, I can tell you if you want to know.
What did you ask?
He got game ka Bollywood version.
What, what did what did he say for that?
He said yeah, he would love it, and he may even act in it. But I guess he would have to play Denzel Washington now. He would have to be the father if
Right,
it's happening in 2023. That
right.
one. Then another thing that he said, a very interesting thing.
Hmm.
All this, by the way, has not been broken on Eklavya yet. So who is tuning in, you're hearing this for the first time ever here. He actually said, Nikhil, that Indian bowlers should play in China.
Yeah, China has a great league, dude. Like
Yeah.
people underestimate how big of a league it is. In fact, they have some huge sports brand. I'll tell you something. Many people don't want to hear this, but if China doesn't screw up and if the government doesn't screw up, it has a very good chance of replacing US as the largest economy in the next few years. And I won't be surprised if the CBA becomes a much more lucrative option for a lot of NBA players as well, especially the second string players and all that.
Yeah.
Because the amount of money they will earn there will be a lot more than they get as a bench player here. But China is a great opportunity.
Yeah. No, it was exciting. It was fun to have him. Then yeah, what else did I ask him? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, it was like a media roundtable.
Okay.
So, but it's cool, man. I love the fact that. Oh, I did ask him one more thing. I don't know if you're going to like this question or not. I'm like, how does the experience in Wankhede Stadium compare with TD Garden?
Has he has he been to the Wankhede Stadium?
Yeah, he went for that Mumbai Indians game, the
Okay.
one
Dude, he
where
must have told you guys are crazy.
no, bro, it was actually surprisingly he said that there are parallels. I'm like, kya bol raha hai bhai? Like, obviously, he gave a very interesting sort of anecdote. Okay, that he was there playing against Celtics versus the Raptors.
Okay.
Okay, and Tracy McGrady and Ray Allen were there, somewhere in mid court.
Okay.
And then T Mac is like, is it always like this in the
Huh.
garden? Then Ray Allen like, yeah, always, right? So but he did say, though, this is interesting. I think this is a good point. What he said is that in Wankhede Stadium, it felt like, because unlike an NBA game where there's always some entertainment happening, right? There people are throwing T-shirts into the crowd and all of that. He
Right.
like I respected the fact that people were patient.
Okay.
Like people who were watching the game, it's not like they needed something to happen. They were apne mein maze le rahe the, and he felt like that is a similarity between the Boston Garden, right? TD Garden and Wankhede, because even there, you have a very knowledgeable crowd there in Boston. So that
Right.
was that was interesting. So yeah, and he also called out James Harden, dude. Oh, that was brutal.
Oh,
We'll talk
he
about it.
said, wow.
And it was
Okay.
in the context of Nikhil. It was in the context of, obviously, like in those moments, right, when Ray Allen made that corner three against the Spurs, and
Right.
he compared that with those are the moments that actually define your legacy. And
Right.
that in the context, he called out Harden and Embiid. Ooh, that was tough, harsh, but I don't know, true, I guess, right? How do you?
So that was the thing, right? Even when we were in this show, if you remember, I had said that this is the Celtics series to lose, in the sense that there is no way in hell that the Celtics lose this series, right? Until and unless they start fooling around. And fortunately, they got serious at the right time. So, so that was a good thing. But yeah, I mean, let's start with the second round reactions. So, Gopal, this second round, in terms of statistics, was one of the most watched second round, primarily because of the Warriors Lakers series. But
Hmm.
even otherwise, it was a very interesting second round. So let's start first on the East side. What are your overall reactions on the New York Knicks versus the Miami Heat?
I mean, that honestly, it went along expected lines, right? Like, even though the last game was close, but it's again, it felt like Miami were completely in control. Uh, Brunson, dude, the one for me, the takeaway, and I think this is a revelation for me also. I'm sure maybe it's for you also. We knew Brunson was solid, like, but this guy is he's special, dude. Like I didn't think of him as a franchise player. So for me, I think that is you have a guy who you can really build your team around. We already spoke about this. The Knicks do need like legit outside shooting, consistent outside shooting. Otherwise, they're not going to go deep. But I
Right,
think this is a great positive sign. I love it I think when New York is good, I think it makes the league better.
right,
So and when it comes to the Heat, yeah, it was again, it was their series to lose, right?
right,
Jimmy Butler didn't have to be crazy playoff Jimmy, right? And they still won. So I think that's why I love that guy. He knows how to pace himself. I think he's
right.
already thinking like he needs to have like crazy, like the next series is going to be like incredible, right? But yeah, I think sort of no surprises. Good for the Knicks, but yeah, we all knew. I think he took it. Right? It was no doubt. What about you?
So starting with the Knicks Heat, my surprise or my rather my learning was I want you to go back to the tapes and look at what I had said before the playoffs started, which was you can check this by the way, it's on the record, which was I felt that based on what I saw the Knicks do, based on what I saw Jalen Brunson do,
Huh?
that he was the reason Dallas Mavericks reached the conference finals last year.
Oh yeah, yeah. That I agree. That's also I think everyone is
And
looking at him different. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and his game is very different, it's very unique. He's the second best post player behind Nikola Jokic. Gopal, did you know that?
Wow, I didn't know that.
And in terms of efficiency, so he this the Heat Knicks reaction, I was impressed. I think Knicks have their person to build around. They have their one star. Maybe they try to get another star. But this was a great series for the Knicks, in my opinion. Dude, what people don't understand, they should have won the Miami Heat round as well. I agree, but then this was the first round victory of the Knicks was the first Knicks victory in like I don't know 2 decades, 3 decades.
Was it
So
10 years? I think.
no, it was more than that. It was 20 years, I think, or I don't remember, but it was basically a very long time.
Hmm.
And I think that's a good thing. And they have a good young team. They have a tough nosed basketball team. It's just that Heat is so much more experienced. Eric Spolstra is one of the best coaches out there. Uh, I'm sure they'll be back strong next year. And New York is always a destination. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Based on what we saw, it's highly likely they end up signing some more, you know, good
Nikhil, I have
players.
I have a, I have a personal, not personal, but whatever. I have a question to ask you.
Right.
Like, have you been to the US? Is that on your bucket list to go to MSG and watch a game? I must be
Nah,
right.
I don't, who the fuck? I don't give a fuck. If I had a bucket list, it'd rather be go watch Steph Curry, dude. Come on. Screw everyone else. He's the biggest, best player on the planet, in my
Okay.
opinion, even
Uh,
now.
okay, we'll come to that. But I do have one random, but this literally, I don't know why it came to my head.
Uh-huh.
Dude, Derrick Rose looks like a sadhu in that Banarasi Ghat mein. Like he gave me full sadhu vibes, and even he like full meta, bro. He's just chilling, like he's in his own zone. I think he gave an interview also that he's like a senior statesman, and
Right,
he's just happy to be in the league after 14 years. I
right.
just found that maybe I should work on my graphic skills and superimpose his head on a sadhu in Banaras. I think.
Let's
So.
move to the next uh, series which happened, the Celtics Sixers.
Ooh.
The fact that this was a 6 game series was disrespectful, in my opinion. The Celtics being disrespectful to the Sixers, which is not taking them seriously. This was supposed to be a 5 game series. It
Six
became
kya, seven, na?
yeah, I said 7 game series only, right?
Seven. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this was disrespectful from the Celtics side. They played down to their competition. This was never meant to be a close series. They just were fooling around, in my opinion. But Gopal, I mean, many people are blaming Embiid and Harden. I am like, bro, this is what we expected from them. Like, what are you talking? Like, the fact that they pushed it to 7 games itself was, It was like Celtics were not taking it seriously. So what do you think about this?
This, I don't know, this sounds crazy, but again, based on how the series went, and specifically game 7, I actually felt the Sixers could have won it, man. Like I'm talking specifically about game 7. Like they seem shocked that Jason Tatum can score buckets. I'm like, why is this surprising to you? Because I'll tell you, I remember this in 2008 or 9. Okay, there again, Doc Rivers, Celtics versus Lakers. I think Kobe had one crazy quarter. I don't know, maybe third quarter something. And I remember Doc Rivers in the huddle. He was telling the Celtics he's just one guy, and it may seem like, psychologically you may think like, oh, what's, but it's still 2 points, right? It's still a 2 pointer, it's still a 3 pointer. So don't overreact, right? So I felt like the 76 is just imploded. And I get your point, this is not a surprise because we unfortunately sort of expect this from Harden and Embiid. But if you really look at the game, what I felt really turned the table is that the entire Celtics team sort of rallied after Jason Tatum, right? He was like their he's a guy who just lit the entire team in terms of what they were doing. So I felt like the Sixers, if they had not overreacted, Embiid was like, like he was so drawn out to the 3 point line. I'm like, why you let him? Like, you can't anyway block that shot when he's taking step back threes. You're not anyway going to contest that. So you just stay in the paint now, because the moment they drew Embiid out, all the other Celtics got involved, and then what is a 10 point game became a 30 point game. I'm like, I just felt like they really lost their minds, right? So I actually thought the Sixers could have won this, considering how badly Celtics played.
Yeah, I mean, when you see certain stretches, this was last year as well, of Celtics take it seriously, be disciplined, focus. They look like no team should be even be able to keep up with these guys. That's how good they look. And the fact that they don't do it consistently, they have these mental breakdowns. It's frustrating to watch as a fan, because you're like, see, this is something which I hold Jason Tatum accountable for, in that when he's on the court, when he has it locked in, and I'm not saying about his getting buckets and all of them, he has that ability of Kawhi during the Spurs run and during the Raptors run of affecting every facet of the game: rebounding, defense, playmaking, shot creation, consistent shooting, driving to the basket, getting defensive stops, making tough offensive buckets, disrupting the other team's offense, forcing them to make changes, disrupting the other team's defense. Every facet of the game, Gopal. Uh, I think him and Kawhi Leonard are the only players who have that ability.
Not Jimmy
Right?
Butler.
Jimmy Butler also, I'm sorry, I mean, him, Kawhi Leonard, and Jimmy Butler are the only ones who have that ability. LeBron doesn't have that ability. Steph Curry doesn't have that ability. Maybe you can say Anthony Davis, to this postseason few games, he's shown that ability. But Jason Tatum, when he's locked in, consistently can do it. He's done it. Like last year, I still remember, I could not believe my eyes when I saw them sweep the Nets. Jason Tatum was locked in that series. And I just hope that they stay locked in and don't fumble around the Miami Heat.
Ooh,
Because
dude, yeah.
Miami Heat will not make the mistakes which Sixers do. Miami Heat will beat you up on the defensive side. On the offensive side, they're going to make it a tough game. They do not make mental mistakes, and this is something which the Celtics will have to take very very seriously. For a second, they cannot get locked off. And I'll tell you the crazy part: when Jason Tatum is doing this, right, wrecking havoc, they're probably the only team in the NBA who have two such players, where even Jalen Brown has that kind of potential.
Hmm.
And if both of them are locked in, right, dude, it's over. No team can keep up. People don't realize how big Jason Tatum is. Dude, he's the height of Anthony Davis, and he has a smooth game.
Hmm.
Like, he is 6'10", legit.
And long.
Long, lanky, fast, smooth, great touch, great jumper. It's This series for me, Sixers basically showed me that the Celtics still haven't matured. Basically showed me that whatever they did last year, no one expected the Warriors to win. Gopal, you look at every analyst, I think other than Stephen A. Smith, no one said the Warriors will win.
Warriors or Sixers, you mean?
The last year finals.
Last year. You're talking about, Okay, okay, okay,
That's how good the Celtics team is. And
okay.
this year it got better, and they still got pushed around to 7 games. Are you kidding me? From a team which I feel has way too many flaws. Sixers are a flawed team. People don't realize this.
Correct,
And
correct.
it just showed, like game 6 and game 7 just showed you why they are a flawed team.
Hmm.
So I hope Celtics take it seriously, because after Warriors, I like the Celtics in the sense that Celtics were the ones because of which I got into the NBA. I told this to you before, right? Like the
Yeah.
2008 Celtics was that was the first final series I watched. In fact, I don't know how. I think I was stumbling through different channels, and at that time I wasn't even watching a lot of NBA. I got into basketball because of Slam Dunk, which is the goat basketball anime. I can't believe, by the way, on an off note, I can't believe Slam Dunk movie is not released in India. I hate it. I'm waiting for the movie to come out. But back to this. So I just stumbled into that game, and I think it was game 2 or game 3 of the finals where Kobe and Celtics were going at it. And
I'm curious. Were you playing then? Like, when did you
yeah,
start?
I
Okay.
used to play. Like there was a club close by, and I used
Huh.
to play. And I mean, 120 kgs, 6'2". I would, at that I was pretty athletic. So, but I was very heavy. So imagine I would, push people around.
You were like the Baswan Gudi ka Zion.
Okay, I wasn't that athletic. Come on, dude. But I mean, I would keep injuring myself as well. That's a different story. But
Hmm.
I like Celtics. I have a soft spot for the Celtics. Like
Uh,
I wish Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown don't screw around. The road to the championship for them is wide open, and we're going to talk about this as we talk about the conference finals reactions. But yeah, this was my reaction to this series. Very emotional reaction, Gopal.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad. I'm glad. If not your team, your second favorite team is still in the reckoning.
Right.
So, but yeah, but I still feel though, to be fair to the Celtics, man, they are going up. They were up against the reigning MVP. Okay, and thoda to izzat dena padega. Like the fact is, dude, Embiid is tough, man. Like whatever you do, it takes a toll on you. And the fact is, Embiid and Harden both had, couple of great games each, right? So I think if you factor that in, yeah, I'm not surprised. I still think obviously Celtics could have won it in 6, but yeah, I think
Five.
no, man. Harden had two legit good games, dude. So I think that's
Anyway,
that's like an X factor.
dude, there's no way. Okay, fine. Like, let's move on to the next
Pick and roll,
one.
dude. Pick and roll. Embiid, Harden, pick and roll. You can't just say, matlab, stop it.
Let's move on to the Western Conference, starting off with uh, such a tough loss for me. Warriors were my pick to win it all again, and they just got bullied by Anthony Davis and LeBron James to a 6 game loss. This is very tough to watch for me because it literally felt like Steph Curry was the only one who wanted to win or was the only one performing. It was very sad to see Klay Thompson miss wide open shots. It was very sad to see Jordan Poole miss wide open shots in game 6 and game 5. I was very. So, see, Klay Thompson is known to hit incredibly tough 3 point shots. But every time I have seen him with a wide open look across games, irrespective of the stage, finals, first game of the season, last game of the season, first game of the playoffs, last game of the playoffs, Clay Thompson does not miss wide open shots, Gopal.
Yeah,
And it was so surprising to see. Like, I was jumping in game 5 and game 6. I was like, how is this missing?
yeah,
Like literally, my parents were like, "Why are you shouting early in the morning?" Because I've never seen him miss wide open shots, Gopal. This is the first time I've seen him miss wide open shots. Game 5, I think there were 8 looks. Game 6, 10 looks, which were wide open. Like there's not one defender, 3 meters from him. And there was a crazy sequence I remember in game 6 which basically summarized the whole series for me. So LeBron is going back on transition D, and there's a 2-on-1 where Steph is on one side and Clay is on another side. So basically LeBron has to make a choice, who is he going to guard.
Hmm. Hmm.
LeBron literally engulfs Steph. Okay. Like you imagine a 6'9" guy coming and, and Steph passes to Clay and he's wide open. There is no one there. And he clanks it. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is bread and butter for the Warriors, Gopal. Like, wide open shots by Clay or Steph. Like, that's what they are all about. So it was very sad for me to see this. And yeah, I mean, but hey, you got to give credit to Lakers, especially Anthony Davis. We spoke about this, in game 2, 3, 4. Like I don't think I've seen a better defensive performance or a defender who's deterred so much from who's deterred the opposition team to attack the rim. Like Warriors were literally passing up shots the moment Anthony Davis is anywhere, like even a 3, 4 feet away from them. So there was a sight to watch because I have not seen that. I probably have. I've seen the closest thing to that. What Dwight Howard used to do when he led the Orlando to finals.
Wow.
But even then, right, people would still go up and challenge Dwight because Dwight was more athleticism. It was not smartness. Anthony Davis is smart. He's athletic and he has impeccable timing. And it was on full display. So Gopal, what do you think about the
Dude,
series?
you mentioned Dwight Howard. Okay, so I don't know if you saw that video. Okay, damn funny. Okay, so he's basically calling all the what he calls underperformers in the playoffs. He's calling them to play with him in Taiwan.
I've not seen that. Oh god.
Oh man.
Wow.
And
Okay.
and he calls Clay, dude. Like tu bhi aaja bhai Taiwan. No,
Come on, dude. Clay
uh,
had a bad series, but he was incredible in the season.
yeah, no, so my thing is, man, see, I think an ordinary series like this, I think actually highlights how extraordinary the Warriors have been in the last 8 years. Okay, we are talking about 4 rings in 8 years. So I
Right.
think this is just a moment for us. It happens, right? A championship winning team trying to repeat or trying to three-peat. I mean, these are things that happen very, very rarely, right? That's the reason why it's celebrated. So I think this is just, and even Steve Kerr himself said, right? This is that he was very open about it. He like, this is a team that is a top 8 team. It's not a top 4 team, and probably this is where we belong. So I think the Warriors should be like allowed, if you can call it that, to have one bad postseason. Correct. And the fact is, they have never lost in the Western Conference in the last whatever 8 9 years. So it takes someone like AD and LeBron to come together and face them, and then to beat a team like this. So if you ask me, I mean, in effect, I'm sure we spoke about this. This perhaps this was actually a de facto finals. It's just that it happened in the conference
It,
semifinals.
it's possible, yeah. Because say what you want. Uh, I love the series. Like, of course, I was complaining a lot about the refs and all, but dude, game 6, the final score shows that they lost by 20 points, right?
Hmm.
Till I think 5 minutes in the fourth, I legit thought Warriors were going to make a run,
Hmm.
and they did multiple times. It's just that LeBron. I told you, right? Like a closeout game, LeBron does not take it lightly.
Yeah.
He If it weren't for LeBron making shots, Gopal, I really think they would have won Game 6, and that's saying a lot. Like, can you imagine? And that's the thing, right? With the Warriors and Lakers, these two are incredible teams. It's possible that this was the de facto finals. It was, by the way, this series was the largest, highest watched game two. I mean, playoff round two series since 27 years.
What happened 27 years ago? What was that series? Now I'm curious.
I don't know.
What
Even
was
I'm curious.
that? That was
But
crazy.
27 years and they've not had as big ratings. And this does not even take into account the NBA streams, the illegal streams, all those things. This is just the TV ratings.
It could be
This
it could be Bulls Knicks 27 years ago.
probably, I don't know. I used to not follow the NBA. I was a kid, so I was 2 years old.
But you're right. See, about LeBron, man, like the way he controlled the game, right? Like
Right,
it was that mastery level stuff. He was
right,
completely controlling the tempo of the game.
right.
I also, in this game, you could argue that the refs, if at all, the calls were honestly leaning towards the Warriors. If you look at
Wait, dude, please.
Dennis Schroeder's
Other than
ejection,
that one play,
then we're
please
talking about
don't
that, right?
bring the refs up, okay?
But we
42 free throws for the Lakers. What are you talking about? Please don't bring the refs up. I didn't bring them up. I will kill you.
but we're talking about the same play, right? We're talking about Dennis Schroeder's ejection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Other than that, come on. Come on, bro. Come on. Please don't say this.
Ah, but yeah.
So guys, I mean, uh, we have a vibrant community at Ek NBA, the WhatsApp group.
Oh yeah, man. Just
I've been
here,
loving it.
okay. Yeah. Nikhil is tripping on that. Like, so guys, please join that. And there's so many polls and stuff happening. Shout out
Yeah.
to you also, Nikhil. I looks like you were like a community that was waiting for you, bro.
I swear I'm loving it. Ek NBA community. Maja aa gaya. So
Dude, that
Gopal,
one comment I loved. Okay, that are we going to talk about Ja Morant?
yeah, we're gonna talk about it. So just wait. Like we're gonna give. I think Sid is his name. His dues,
Yeah. Oh
guys. We
yes.
have one of the best catchphrases waiting for you. So just be tuned in.
Awesome.
But let's
I love that. I love
but
that.
let's talk about some of the comments which we had from the Ek NBA. The first one was JR. So JR, I don't know what's your name. That was your WhatsApp handle, which was, and I completely agree. Gopal, what do you think of this? Poole was the Lakers X factor.
Oh,
I was
brutal.
laughing. I
Brutal.
was like, bro, this is crazy.
Brutal.
Now, that
Oh.
was absolutely amazing. And he was like, Poole. I mean, if Poole played 50% of the way he did last year, they probably take the series. Just to tell you how close the series was, 3 games came down to the wire. In my opinion, it was amazing to watch. The next one was
Oh man.
uh, the next one was, of course, there was another poll which I did, which is the Golden State dynasty over? And Gopal, very interesting results. Out of the 15 votes which we got, 5 of them said yes, including me, and 10 of
Including
them
you. Oh my god, dude.
and
What
10 of
is
them said no.
why did
Uh,
you say yes, bro?
so the Warriors dynasty, as we know it, is probably over. So what do I mean by that? I don't know if they managed to bring the core back. I
Hmm.
don't think they have enough money to bring back Clay, Dre, and Steph. They're also saying that
Hmm.
Bob Myers may want to quit because, yeah, like he's been one of the best GMs and he wants to move on to different things. So it'll be, I think, as we know it is over, but Steph is definitely coming back. Like, dude, this series at the very least showed me that he is probably the best player on the court. In the sense that if you look at the 26, 17, and 18 finals, it was clear that LeBron James was the best player on the court, but Warriors had a better team. And
Hmm.
this series showed me that Steph Curry is the best player on the court, but Lakers have a better team.
I
So
agree, dude. Steph was incredible. I honestly felt like he deserved better, dude. In
I
terms of
swear,
what else could one person do, man? Like
yeah, yeah.
seriously, I felt
And this what you just said, right? What else could one person do? This is exactly what people said about LeBron James in 2017 and 18.
yes.
This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right?
But there the difference was LeBron actually had supposedly what mediocre teammates, right? In terms of talent, right? So but this is and Draymond Green answered this, by the way. He addressed exactly this poll, not
Right.
our poll. I'm talking about generally the whole.
He said it's not over. They'll be back. I don't know.
No, and no, and his reasoning, okay, which I found interesting, is that all of you people, and this is also my reasoning, okay, is that how can a jump shooting team win? Okay, that's my one. But I do feel this again, Nick. This may sound like very very outdated, but wasn't there James Wiseman? Wasn't he with the Warriors? He got injured. What happened? Because see, I still feel like they were missing one interior scoring big, right? I think that would have added that extra bit of pressure on AD having to guard that also. What do you feel about that? And what happened to James Wiseman? Wasn't he like he had all the tools, right? Then he got
So
injured.
let's talk about that. But before that, let's Vishnu Srinivas has a comment. Proves basketball is played by five best players, not one elite athlete. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It's not a one-on-one game, guys. If it was a one-on-one game, KD and Steph would take it probably every year because they just keep jump shooting from the three.
Dude, I would pay for that. I would pay for an NBA one on one, dude.
They'll never do it, dude,
In a,
because
in a cage.
they'll never do it. So Vishnu, thank you so much for the comment. But yeah, to address your query, what happens with James Wiseman is he was not willing to play in the motion offense which Steve Kerr does. It was a big issue where he was not willing to screen or roll. He was not willing to pass the ball. Steve Kerr, like Phil Jackson, expects a lot of quick decisions on the go with a lot of chaos, and not everyone is suited to that style of play. This was something which I feel Warriors adjusted very late. I think they should have put Gary Payton much early on in the series in the
Hmm.
starting lineup,
Hmm.
because with Gary Payton, the offense was clicking,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's
Yeah,
because he understands that motion offense really well. Like, the ball doesn't stick to him for more than 2 seconds. The ball keeps moving. He does a lot of smart cuts, and James Wiseman was not willing to do that. But this very nicely brings a very important point, that they need 18 to 25 points from the front court
exactly.
to keep Anthony Davis or any other player like that honest. Because right now, any big man playing the Warriors can just chill on the defensive side in the front court. And
Yeah, yeah.
they,
Except the rebounding, right? The only thing he needs to do is box out.
well, if he boxes out, I think Draymond and Kevin Looney will get the board. But you need a scorer. You need a Julius Randle
Hmm.
type scorer who can consistently get you 18 to 22 points a game. Uh,
Julius Randle in the Warriors. Ooh. Damn.
yeah, like that's what they need, right? Because he'll have a lot more space on the Warriors, and you need that type of player. So in the past, if you see,
Julius
right,
Randle not playing motion offense, bro. I don't.
that's probably true. That's probably true. But yeah, that's probably true. But in the past, they've had that players. In the first run, they had Maurice Pakes. They had JaVale McGee, who was a great vertical rim shot creator.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then they had last year they had this BJLE.
Bielitsa. Bielitsa.
Yeah, yeah, he
Uh,
was a great creator. He would get like 10, 15 points off the bench whenever they needed it. Uh, they didn't have a rim scorer as such, if you think
and you
about it.
saw the difference that it made. I think in game five, I guess, or
Game
whatever.
four, game four.
Draymond Green wala game, na, where Draymond Green was aggressive in terms
Yeah,
of
so
looking for a
game
shot.
five, yeah,
Huh.
game five, Draymond Green was very aggressive, and when he was attacking, so what that does is it opens up Steph and Clay, because see, I was telling Nirmal, my younger brother, the other day, if Bob Myers is GOAT GM, before he retires, what he should do is he should somehow sneak a deal for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because there are rumors that he's unhappy in the Bucks. So I don't know. Like, I would trade every single young player I have and how many ever picks it takes to get Giannis, because Giannis is exactly the type of player which will take Warriors to an to a
No, no,
dominant
that's
dynasty.
that's illegal, bro. This is I want, dude. Like, this is an all-star team, bro. Like, are you saying, oh, Giannis drives and dishes out to Clay and Steph and Jordan Poole? I'm like, oh my god, dude, that's not fair.
Dude, you're talking about the offensive end. That is crazy. But imagine defensive end,
Um,
Giannis and Draymond.
hmm.
It's
So yeah,
game over. It's like the last three, TPO wise. But anyway, we also in the AK NBA WhatsApp community, we also had an interesting conversation about Steph versus LeBron James,
okay.
and how I said that Steph is still 3-2 leads on LeBron. And many people will be like, oh, but Steph had KD for two of those seasons. I'll be like, so what? LeBron had AD.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you don't get to say that. He's like, of course, you have good teams, you have bad teams. That's okay. Uh, Another fact was, I also said, and many people didn't like this, but I'd love to know your thoughts. But I also said that, Steph is my GOAT. The reason I say this is because if you look at playoff win percentage, number of playoff series won, impact of the player on court, with today's NBA's rules specifically,
Hmm.
I would, if I had to pick in the prime across the entire NBA history, whom would I start a franchisee with if I had a draft? I would start with Steph Curry. Gopal, what do you think?
I know we have had this conversation, and obviously you can't fault stats, right, in terms of impact, like you said, and we saw this in this series also, like every other series, when he's off the floor, it's not even a playoff team, man. It's like some, it's a low level sort of, galti
Right,
se whatever, very average mediocre team. So I don't, and the fact is, you said he's your goat. I think
right.
people need to remember that, right? Like everyone is entitled to their, he's your goat. You're not saying he's the goat. You're saying he's your goat,
Yes.
right? So I think that's an important semantic. There is, I can't fault your choice, honestly, based on what I've said.
Now let's talk about one last player who I think did really well. I hate his play style. I hate his play style, but he did really well. Austin Reeves. The first three games, it was clear that Clay Thompson was outplaying him, and then I don't know what happened. He just fell off, and Austin Reeves did an amazing job of consistently getting a bucket when Lakers needed it, when their offense got stagnant. It was super fun to watch. Like he was creating like like James Harden.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, no.
like
So I think about Austin Reeves, I think what you mentioned, and this is also, I don't know if I'm giving LeBron undue credit, but he allows people to, play and grow, right? And obviously we saw in the last game he took over, right? But I think Austin Reeves uh, showed that he's ready for the big moments and he could be a playmaker. And again, we're talking about a guy who's, how old is he, man? He must be what, 21, or and he seemed like a young. You compare him with Jordan Poole, right? That just shows the
right.
contrast in terms of maturity, taking responsibility. Like there was no, like Austin Reeves could have had a completely shitty playoffs.
No one would have said anything.
No one would have said anything,
Yeah,
right? But he chose to perform elevate his game, right, and
yeah,
say that I am him, right? Now is that they're going to be etched in,
yeah, yeah.
So
Incredible respect for him. Played
but,
really well.
but Clay should have dominated that matchup.
Yeah, yeah. This. So look, say what you want. In the end, it's basketball is a game of matchups. So what do I mean by that? You look at the center position, right? You have Anthony Davis and you have Kevon Looney. Anthony Davis won that matchup. Then you have the power forward position. You have LeBron James and Draymond Green. LeBron won that matchup. Now, this is where the Warriors are supposed to take an advantage. Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, and Clay Thompson. These three guys should have won the matchup on D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Dennis Schroeder, Vanderbilt.
Hmm.
Like they would have got the matchup win 3-2. They didn't. Like clearly. So what happened was Steph Curry won his matchup. Andrew Wiggins sometimes, of course, outplayed Vanderbilt, but the deciding factor was Clay Thompson, Austin Reeves, and
Hmm.
Austin Reeves beat the crap out of Clay Thompson. Like if you just look at it from that perspective, it's just become a 3-2. Like from a matchup perspective, Lakers just had an advantage.
Correct. Yeah, there's no doubt. Tough series for Clay, man, but I'm sure he himself, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the dynasty is over. To coming back to the whole poll and stuff,
Right.
I still feel like if the next year, if they again struggle in the playoffs, or if they struggle even making the playoffs, that itself is a conversation, right? The fact that they had to struggle to even get back into the top six, right? So yeah, then in that case, I'm looking at the dynasty perhaps being over. I still feel like Clay is not himself, right? After his injury, he has had these sparks. I know he shot some ridiculous number of threes, but I think shooting in the regular season versus in the playoffs are two different things. I still feel like Clay is not completely back.
I
Uh,
also feel he's lost a little bit of his strength. I mean, what do you
mm,
think? I think he was a much stronger player, Gopal.
yeah. Are you talking about defensively or?
No, forget about defense, right? I never assumed Clay to be someone who could get pushed around, and in this series he did get pushed around. It was very surprising to watch.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe he's gonna work out a lot more. Let's
That's what I'm
see.
saying. I don't think he's fully back, right? I think
Right,
all these are aspects that you can't suddenly. I mean, conditioning maybe you can get back first,
right,
right? And then strength and all of that is still one of those. Again, I'm not trying to give him an out. I think if you ask him also, he's anyway by now he must be on his boat or yacht or whatever doing what he does.
right.
So, but yeah, I think the Warriors definitely. I don't see the dynasty is over. In fact, I think the analogy that I was thinking about, Nikhil, during the series is like the Spurs. Okay, even Spurs, we thought dynasty is over. They came back and they beat Miami, right? After that gap of, I think 5 6 years, right? That,
Yeah,
so I still think Warriors have that in them, no doubt.
right. Uh,
Any other fun comments? There are so many fun comments you would have, like, oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway,
okay. So anyway, let's move on to the next series, which was a delight. The Nuggets Suns. Now,
oh,
of course, Gopal's team get to the conference finals.
they are winning, dude. Nuggets are beating the Lakers. We'll come to that, but
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. But Nuggets Suns, game 5 and game 6, the way Jokic just took over, it was therapeutic.
that I was
Like,
not.
dude, I'm watching the game, right? And I've just woken up and I'm like, I'm irritated and all of that. I'm like, "Arey yaar, subah jaldi ut gaya." I'm not a morning person, but he gets the ball mid post or high post or just outside the 3 point line, and continuously, possession after possession, makes the right play.
It's
Makes the
unreal.
right play. Not just that, when he decides, okay, I want to get a bucket, irrespective of how his body is contorted, irrespective of how much defensive pressure is there, the ball floats into the basket.
Dude, Makhan, bro, Makhan.
It's
For
like,
me, it's a
oh,
Makhan. Makhan, dude.
I'm like, oh, oh, this is why I watch basketball. Like, dude, he would hit these runners. I don't think they would even touch the net.
What arc, dude? Do you see the arc on every shot of his? Like, it just, it's like a perfect parabola or whatever that
Right.
term is, man. It's,
And you know what? He's clearly the slowest player on the court.
dude, he's motivation for people like us.
But like, he's laboring through the court, and then comes up and somehow gets the ball. Till he gets the ball, it's like he's gonna fall down. But the moment he gets the ball, like, you're just under a spell. You're about to get mesmerized. You're about to get, like, wow. His layups look beautiful, Gopal. Like, what arc, like, what beauty. Wow. Like, Nuggets Suns, the whole series, great job by, Devin Booker, but they just didn't have depth, and it showed. They just didn't have depth. So what did you think of the series, Gopal?
See, man, first let's get the hating out of the way. Okay, so I need to, like, Aiton
Mhm.
didn't even play. Okay, so my this is where I'm old school. Okay, my point is, your entire season is on the line. Okay, fine. You don't even turn up, bro. What, like, like, what is this message that you're sending out, man? This is these are the issues that I have with the modern NBA. And even here, I'm going to go back to Ray Allen. One of the journalists asked him that question. This thing about load management.
Uh-huh.
Here, you're doing load management. Basically, you're doing load management in the playoffs. So, okay, so that's one thing. But yeah, I felt like the Suns were. We spoke about it, right? It was not.
They just didn't have depth. They
Yeah,
didn't
it's
have
just
enough chemistry.
individuals. Uh,
And and by the way, sorry to interrupt you, Gopal,
no,
but
no, go ahead. Yeah.
another mesmerizing factor about Jokic. Do you know what he's averaging in the playoffs?
More than 40 per game, like 40.
30, 10, 10
I thought it'd
at
be
like
40.
68% or 65% true shooting.
No, no,
It's
dude.
like, he's just, bro, he took them seriously in game 5. I think game 6, he was just like, I think game 5 and game 6, Jokic finally got serious, and you could not touch the Nuggets offense. Could not touch, could
Dude,
not stop.
this is. I'll tell you what this, and this is literally now as you were speaking, I remember this. Dude, he made KD and Booker look ordinary in terms of the intellect.
Offense.
Is intellect, right? In terms
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like a professor playing with first standard kids. In terms of the IQ, I'm talking about like real basketball IQ, control of the game.
Right.
Like, he was not rushed. He was not. I mean, you would imagine going up against KD and all, like, thoda psychological ye hoga, but he doesn't care. Like, and this again, this goes back and then you contrast again with Embiid, right? Like, this goes back to the MVP
I swear.
conversation, right?
I
Like,
swear.
what on what basis are you giving? giving out these awards,
Right.
right? I think again, Embiid's defense is better, so I give him that. Embiid's defense is elite. So yeah, if you the moment you start factoring in defense, then yeah, but still,
So let's see. I mean, I had an interesting question. Jokic versus Kevin Durant, who's better?
dude, for me it's not a question. For me, it's Jokic, dude.
Yeah, so the votes were 22-15, 22 Jokic, and 13, sorry, 22-13, 13 Kevin Durant. I voted for Jokic. This version of Jokic, oh man, I wish he beats the Lakers, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit later,
I
guys.
can't wait for that conversation also.
So, guys, we have a comment. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read your name, but he says in
This is from
basketball.
Serbia. It's from Serbia, dude.
Okay, in basketball, what a crazy EuroLeague playoff it was. This week, the for Olympiacos starts against Monaco and Barcelona against Real Madrid. The crowd is going crazy. The
Yeah,
atmosphere
yeah,
is
yeah.
crazy. I'm sorry, man. I don't follow the EuroLeague, but thank you so much for sharing this. Let's move on.
That was random.
I know that
Like
was random.
what?
So let's move on, guys. Let's talk about the upcoming conference finals. Okay.
Both the conference finals. By the way, so this is a repeat of the bubble, right? We were talking about that.
That's the title of the show today, guys.
Oh,
The
you
bubble.
did go with that. Okay,
Yeah,
bubble repeat. Okay.
the bubble repeat. Yeah. Now here's the thing. If anyone was saying this is the proof which Lakers can give that their bubble ring was not was not a fake ring if they win it all. But let's start with the Lakers Nuggets.
Who was saying bubble ring is a fake ring?
Many
Because
people say
acha,
because there was no
because there's no
audience.
that
There's
is
no
that's
audience, there's no road, there's no home. Many people say it wasn't a great thing. So let's start with the Lakers Nuggets. Now, we have probably one of the best offensive players of all time going up against one of the best defensive performances by AD of all time.
what a matchup.
What a matchup, yeah. Now, I have one important thing to note here in this matchup.
Huh?
In the Warriors' case, AD was just larger. So if he would time his blocks correctly and if he would just time things correctly, he would get a block. Jokic is clearly bigger than AD.
Yeah, yeah.
He's much heavier than AD, much bigger than AD, longer than AD, and I don't know if AD can do as good of a job defensively as he can on uh, on Jokic. What do you think, Gopal? Starting with
Dude,
the first matchup.
dude, I am as you were speaking, I was like, I feel sorry for AD, dude.
Oh,
Like just,
okay.
dude, imagine the kind of pressure he has. Like on the one series, you have the Warriors, okay, like full motion offense, yeah, wo trying to guard the perimeter, fall back, and then after that you have Jokic, dude. It's not an easy life. Okay, so shout out firstly to AD for the for just what he needs to bring to every series and the adjustments he has to make. Right, let's start there. Let's start with. I think I still have Jokic winning this matchup because he's just super smart. He's going to post up AD. We may also look at AD getting into foul trouble or depending on how aggressively he plays. I see Jokic playing a lot in the post and then creating a lot of offense from the high post, maybe the low post. Now, another question is, and I don't think also Lakers have people who can help. Who's going to help? Like, and how will you help? Right? Who, how, and when do you help?
Okay.
These are those questions, right? So, who's going to be the help defender? Is it going to be Vanderbilt? Is it going to be LeBron trying to play a
I have a question for you. What if Vanderbilt is full time put on Jokic?
initially like in terms of when Jokic sort of is the primary ball handler, you're saying, and slows him
Yes.
down.
Yes.
I think that is something that they might actually do that.
Okay.
I do see that happening.
Okay.
So, but again, Jokic is, it's not like he won't bring the ball up. Right? It's very simple. He'll very chill out. He'll just go and chill in the post. It's not like
And according to you in the post, no way Vanderbilt is stopping him, right?
yeah. The moment it goes to the post, Vanderbilt is out of the picture, right? He's not. And anyway, by the way, Vanderbilt is such a, as we saw in the previous series, he's such a liability on offense
Yeah.
that he was honestly not even being part of the rotation. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Like Steph somehow played him off. That was crazy to watch.
yeah. I have a actually curious question to you. Like, I was just tripping on on these matchups, right? Because I was thinking like, who stops Jokic? I just want to check with you, like, Embiid versus Jokic generally. How is that? Who has won that matchup? Has it always been
No,
Jokic?
no, I'll tell you. Most of the times they've fought
Regular
against each
season
other.
random games, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. I've just felt Jokic has not at all taken it seriously, and Embiid just goes off.
Okay,
Always,
I'll have to look
Embiid
at
just
those
goes off.
numbers.
Like he takes 30 shots, 40 shots.
See,
Jokic
the
doesn't. He's
reason,
not
yeah,
even
the
bothered.
reason I bring that up is because Embiid is the guy who actually has that size on Jokic, right? The kind of things that AD does not have. I think
Right,
Embiid does have that.
right,
So that would have. I still want to see. I would love it if both they are both in the same conference, and
right.
we get to see them across a 5 game, 7 game series. But I'm just it's a
So,
wish list.
Jokic versus AD, whenever AD has guarded him one on one, Jokic has a shooting rate of 9 for 17, which is almost 50%, which is actually pretty good. Uh, so, basically, it's telling you that AD is not bothering Jokic that much.
No, but it's still a drop off from 69%.
That's true. It's still a drop off. It's still a drop off. But let's see what happens.
I
Another,
have a counter. I have a counter to this. We also need to look at AD on the offensive end,
yeah.
right?
So
Huh.
I'll come to that. So the first matchup, Jokic versus AD, you're giving an edge to AD. Include both offense and defense. Whom do you give the
I'm
edge
giving
to?
an edge to Jokic.
Okay, you're giving an edge to Jokic. Okay. So according to you, AD on offense plus defense and Jokic on offense plus defense, Jokic takes the edge.
Plus 10.
Wow. Okay.
But
So let's move on.
I'm including Jokic's assists and all. I think that is
Sure, sure,
yeah.
absolutely. Another important factor is when Warriors needed a tough bucket close to the rim, they were not able to generate it against AD. But I think Jokic, he'll get whatever bucket he wants. We saw this even in the bubble, where the problem was not that Jokic was not getting buckets. The problem was that Lakers were able to respond. So let's come to the next part.
Hey Nikhil, just this again. I'm sure there are people like me who may not even remember all the bubble stuff. Can you just take us through the last Lakers Nuggets bubble, whatever
Sure.
series?
So Lakers won in five. In
Ooh.
game two, I think Anthony Davis hit a game-winning three-pointer in the last second. Game three also went down to the wire, and again they made the right play at the last moment. And because of which, obviously, although the Nuggets, sorry, game four, not game three, Nuggets won, and then game four, they didn't make the right play. And game five, of course, LeBron woke up.
And
So
Jamal Murray, he got injured during that playoff run, or was it?
No, no, no. He didn't get injured during the playoff. He was well. The thing is, the Nuggets team was not as deep as it is now, and I'm going to come to that next. So the next
Yeah.
matchup is the power forward matchup: Aaron Gordon and LeBron James.
Oh, this is one I actually think people are like they're going to be, but I think Aaron Gordon has definite advantages in
Okay,
terms of defensively, right? I think he's athletic, he's strong, and he can wear LeBron down. And I also think Aaron Gordon is a sneaky offensive player. He has his stretches.
right.
Uh,
He's an
so
all-star. I think he's an all-star.
yeah, so I actually give it to Aaron Gordon
What's wrong with you, dude?
because he's going to wear LeBron down. I think so. I think so. Durability. I'm like everyone else, like the classic, no, LeBron, old. Every day, like he's grown 2 years older.
Right. The next matchup
Hey,
is
what is your take? You like totally silent about this.
dude. LeBron is a player who I don't know how people say they're not terrified of him. He terrifies the shit out of me. Like LeBron James, when he's on, and I think this series he'll be fully on because he's realized that this is probably the last chance he has for a run in the finals. He'll be on throughout the series. And a LeBron James who is committed to playing offense and defense, he's a scary sight. I would give a plus 20 advantage to Aaron Gordon. Sorry, to LeBron James. Plus 20.
I'm giving +2 to Aaron Gordon.
Let's see. So let's move on to the next position, which I think will decide the series: Michael Porter Jr. versus Vanderbilt.
Michael Porter Jr. versus, okay, you're going position wise. It's
Yeah,
because matchup wise, it would be Vanderbilt guarding Jamal Murray, right? Or you're saying no. You're saying he could probably like pick
I
up
think he'll.
Jokic.
I think they'll
Okay.
have to put him on MPJ because MP. Oh, so I wanted to tell this specifically in the small forward position. The Nuggets are probably the only team, center, power forward, small forward, who have a bigger team than the Lakers in the entire NBA. I don't think the Lakers' size advantage even bothers the Nuggets. MPJ is 6 foot 10. Aaron Gordon is 6'9. Jokic is 7 versus 6'9, 6'8, 6'8. Against
Correct. But
every other team, the Lakers are bigger, but not against the Nuggets because MPJ is so huge.
he's huge, but then he's just acting like he's only a spot up shooter, honestly.
No, I think he's been playing well. I think he's been putting up a good effort on the rebounds. No, and I meant the size from the perspective that
Yeah.
look, Lakers can deter shots from a lot of other smaller teams. They'll not be able to deter shots from this guy,
Yeah,
dude.
that way. That way. Yeah, yeah. There's no blocking Michael Porter Jr. Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
He's huge. He's 6'10. He is also as tall as Anthony Davis.
No, yeah, that's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy to think about. Wow.
He's huge, dude. People don't realize it, but he's huge. And this matters. Like, you say what you want, you can't teach height.
Dude, I'm genuinely worried about AD's foul trouble, and then what happens, and who's Lakers backup center?
So, I think Lakers backup center is Mo Bamba. I don't. If he's put on the court, I think. Oh man, Jokic is
No, no,
gonna feast.
Gabriel, no, that one Gabriel guy.
Oh, yeah, there's one other guy. Yeah, even
Gabriel.
I don't think even he's good. He'll be unplayable. Lakers are not gonna take that chance. I feel. So I think Michael Porter Jr. This matchup, if he's able to consistently score against Vanderbilt or anyone else who's defending him, I think Lakers will just not be able to stop their offense. I think Jokic, Murray, and Gordon cancel out LeBron, AD, and Austin Reeves. I think the matchup is one based on how well Michael Porter Jr. does versus how well Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, all these other role players do.
I would actually compare Michael Porter Jr. with Rui Hachimura. I think these guys, if you think about it, they both have these streaks. They have their moments where they just light up.
Right,
So I think that is a more. Uh, I mean, I think we should think about Hachimura also. I think they're both X factors, right? MPJ and Hachimura are the guys who have that ability, skill set to consistently impact a game and a series. So I think Hachimura deserves a quick mention because he did drop off though. Like I think he could have had a better series against
right.
the Warriors. He was, I don't know, he was weirdly out of the picture mostly.
And I also want to see one more thing. Uh, Michael Porter Jr., I wish he's crazy aggressive and just tries to bully Anthony Davis because he's so big.
No, dude, like I mean, my point is, did you see any signs of MPJ showing that hustle, heart, whatever
Yeah,
grind?
yeah, yeah.
No, dude.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's dude when he has his, there are moments when he's driving and when he's making pull up jump shots where he looks like KD.
Yeah, but I agree. That's what I'm saying. That matchup was great. When I saw KD versus MPJ and that MPJ dunk on KD, for me that was a career transition, like generation transitioning moment. But my point is, I didn't see enough of that from MPJ in the previous series for me to
Right.
warrant your level of optimism
Okay,
around
fair
MPJ.
enough. Let's go further. So let's look at the guards. You have Kentavious Caldwell Pope versus you have Austin Reeves. So who do you think take this matchup? Because KCP has been great in the playoffs.
Even no, but no, wait. I would still say Reeves again because of his playmaking ability.
Hmm,
Uh, but KCP is a better defender. Tough one. I still got Reeves, but very marginally.
right. Okay. So let's see what
Hey,
happens.
so wait. So you're saying we have KCP guarding Reeves? Is that the matchup you're looking at?
Uh
That'll be interesting, right? Because Reeves is starting. There's no doubt about it. KCP is also starting. I think.
right.
Huh. yeah, I don't think KCP will affect Reeves that much uh, in terms of defense, because it's not like, again, Reeves is a spot up shooter or stuff like that. I think KCP does better against pure shooting guards. I think Reeves is more of a you know point forward in a sense. So, and I think
Right,
Reeves has size. I think Reeves has a couple of inches on KCP, if I'm not mistaken.
right.
Hmm.
So
So I,
let's
I
see.
I got Reeves.
Interesting. I will say this. Even during the bubble, KCP was on the Lakers, and I think he did a really good job against the Nuggets. And I expect him to make a huge impact in the series. He's gonna get so many wide open looks. uh, I don't know. I think he brings a sense of toughness, and mainly towards the end of games. Oh, Lakers have been, by the way, the best clutch team over the last second half of the season, and I think KCP will be a difference maker.
But
Uh,
but why will he get wide open looks? I'm just curious. I That means you're assuming that the Lakers double Jokic.
yes, I think in the first game, Jokic is going to go off. They'll realize single coverage is just not going to work on him, and they're going to start doubling him. Uh, I think
Hmm.
it's not possible, dude. Like Anthony Davis, as good as he is, Jokic. You have to understand Anthony Davis is so good, especially against smaller teams.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nuggets are massive, dude. People don't understand. Like 7 foot, 6 foot 8, 6 foot 10. It's like huge.
I see someone becoming a Nuggets fan.
No, I'll
Uh,
come to my next part. Why I think they may not win.
ooh,
Uh, yeah,
ooh.
so let's talk about that. So
Ooh.
let's move on to the next matchup, which is Jamal Murray and D'Angelo Russell slash Schroeder slash Lonnie
Oh,
Walker.
slash slash. Itne slashes. Okay, huh.
They have a 4 guard lineup, a very good 4 guard lineup. So who do you think Jamal Murray will be able to outplay them?
Man, if you're looking at them as a combination, then it's hard. But yeah, I was
Let's
honestly
let's take let's take Jamal Murray slash Bruce Brown.
okay. That okay. Ooh. So I do think Jamal Murray. I have, like, this is the first, like, the last series. I actually, he takes very very difficult shots. Okay, which he does not need to take. Okay,
Okay,
so uh, I feel that Bruce Brown will do an excellent job on him defensively. I think Jamal Murray, his impact is going to be more about making those tough shots down the stretch. In fact, I would say Jamal Murray is actually, for me, he, like, honestly, like a role player. Jokic is the guy who sort of runs the team, and whatever Jamal Murray gives or does not give is like a bonus. So I would still give the edge to Jamal Murray, but not much of an edge, because I think he will get, if you, again, like you said, because you're talking about Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell gives a lot of instant offense, right? And then Schroeder and all these guys. I mean, so yeah, Jamal Murray, but not by much.
interesting. So in the playoffs, Jamal Murray, I think, has been averaging 20. Just give me a second. I'm trying to pull up his data. He's been averaging 27 points at 47% from field, 42% from three, 90% from the free throw line. He's been averaging 6 assists and 3 turnovers. That's his playoff average. What do you
Hmm.
think of that?
I think it's not spectacular, right? In terms of what
We've seen him do.
yeah, what we've seen him do. So that's my only. I think he's honestly had like an average by his standards playoffs.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I think Bruce Brown is still, again, one of those X factors. I think he can also go off. I don't see D'Angelo Russell having one of his
Crazy games.
crazy games, right? You don't see that somehow happening.
I don't know. Dude, Lakers backcourt is unpredictable. After I saw Lonnie Walker become Jordan in Game 4, fourth quarter, I've stopped predicting the Lakers backcourt
It's
because
interesting
Game
that
4
yeah.
was
Hmm.
completely in the hand of Warriors, and I could not believe what he did do. I was like, "Oh, what is this guy? Who is this guy? 17 straight points. Oh my god!" But yeah, go ahead.
No, so yeah, we're not even talking about bench, right? I think we should.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get to the
Yeah.
bench. One player who I think, again, so this is a part where people don't realize how big the Nuggets are. They also have Jeff Green.
Uncle.
Jeff Green is also old, but he's 6'9", Gopal. Jeff Green is six
No, no,
nine.
and he's very athletic still, man. Like he
Yeah,
can
of
get up to.
course. Dude, he defended well. He played decent in the playoffs, like 6 8 points off the bench, good defense. He'll be key because when players are off the bench, Lakers don't have. I think he'll be key on Rui Hachimura. uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
and Christian Brown has been playing well, very good hustle player. Uh,
He only plays well at home, though.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Bruce Brown, of course, you never know when he goes off, he goes off. And one player I'm looking at to try to counteract the Lakers going off. By the way, I'm making the case for Nuggets to win right now because I think they lose, and I'll come to that why. But I think Reggie Jackson may end up having a big series. I don't know why. Because Reggie Jackson is still in that, Clipper mindset. Like he hates the Lakers.
Yeah, yeah.
I think so. So what do you think?
No, no, I'm glad you mentioned Reggie Jackson, and it was good to see him there because I honestly loved him with the Clippers, man. I think he's
Yeah,
fun, dude. Like he came out of nowhere.
yeah.
I guess because he and Paul George were like buddies or something. So Paul George sort of pushed and got him. I love your choice. I love the fact that you picked uh,
A
Reggie Jackson.
rando.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Reggie Jackson to have a great series. So yeah, but I got Nuggets, by the way. I got Nuggets in five.
So let's in five.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy confidence.
Yes, I got them in five. But then again we talk about the refs.
Okay.
Like if the refs are like going to be like your like yeah. See, I still think also that the one thing that we should also think about is how much of a pressure Lakers are going to put on Jokic on the defensive end.
Dude, one thing I've seen in the Nuggets defense is they hide Jokic's deficiencies really, really well.
That's true.
And I don't think it'll matter. Now I'll tell you why I think
Huh.
the Nuggets lose. The Laker defense is something to watch. Their half court defense is impeccable. Players like Clay Thompson, Jordan Poole couldn't get off. I simply don't expect Jamal Murray, Bruce Brown to have a big series. And I think the wing defense of Lakers will shut them out, putting way too much pressure on Jokic. Jokic will have a huge series,
Hmm.
but Lakers will take care of business in six.
Well, I can't obviously back out of the Nuggets have.
What do you forget about that? But what do you think of what I just said?
I think I can I scarily I can whatever you said I could literally see it happening. So I can't fault your logic. I think
Yeah. Now I will give Nuggets one shot. The only shot they have is if Jokic just decides this is my year and goes for like 40, 20, 10 the entire series.
hasn't he already decided that? Look at his numbers till now, dude. It's not like he has not.
I don't know. I don't know. Like sometimes I felt in the first and second round he was a bit passive while attacking the rim. But I look. I'll tell you this. I hate the Lakers. Okay, I hate the Lakers. They put this team as a project together mid-season, and the fact that they're in the conference finals, I hate it. Like, but but that
It
does not
feels like
mean.
they don't deserve it, right? I get a point.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know. I just so there's two reasons why Lakers, despite I hate them. One was what I just said. Their defense is legit, and second is that man, LeBron James. I want to ask you this. You love the Nuggets, I know that. But if LeBron James has a prime LeBron type series, you think they have a chance?
Oh no, 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 no. But the point is that itself is expecting too much, right? You're saying multiple games where he's like you're saying he needs to average
30,
30 30 10 10.
38, 8, yeah.
हाँ, but वो नहीं हो रहा है ना. वो नहीं होगा
I
ना.
think I think he's taking this playoffs very seriously. I think he's realized now that look, he's looking at the Eastern Conference and he's like Miami Heat, they'll beat. Boston Celtics are useless. If you think about it from LeBron's perspective, he beat their biggest threat, Warriors, and now Nuggets. If he beats the Nuggets, the championship is his. You think LeBron is not thinking about that? You think he's not going to go full throttle this entire series? I doubt. Because I don't think he's going to sit and try to conserve energy like the way he did against the Warriors or against the Grizzlies. I think he's going to, from the get, just go off. His first goal will be to try to win game one. They are gonna be so aggressive in game one, then they'll forget about it in game two. Same thing what they did to Warriors. Take care of business in game three and four at home. Game five, let the Nuggets win and then close them out in game six. That's my prediction.
Correct. But again, see, my point is the Warriors. They were still. I mean, they had, like I
Dude,
said.
my point to you is this: Jokic is clearly the best offensive player on the court, most
Mhm.
impactful. My question is, who is the second best in the NBA? The best, most impactful offensive player, the second best this
Most
season.
impactful offensive player.
Yeah,
Don't
Steph
don't say.
Curry.
Oh, Steph Curry. Huh. ठीक है.
So, did you see what they did to Steph? Even if they just affect the Nuggets by 3 percentage points at this level in playoffs, it's just a question of few decimals here and there.
Yeah. So I mean, for me again, it comes down to the Nuggets role players, right? Like, are they going to play afraid? Are they going to like feel like, oh, we are going up against LeBron and champions and all of that? So for me, it comes down to if the Nuggets role players can play freely, if they can play efficiently, because we saw that in the previous round, right? They played at home, they had a dominating win, and they were able to carry that onto the road. Uh, right. So for me, it comes down if the Nuggets role players don't underperform because of whatever psychological fear Yevo. I still have. I think the Nuggets are very deep. They're very balanced, and they can hurt you in multiple ways. So I still got the Nuggets. I'm not going to change my choice.
I'm tell me this: have I made a strong enough case?
You have made a very strong case. I wish you had not made such a strong case, because now now it's
You're
now it's.
second guessing.
I'm not second guessing. I'm just worrying. It's a worrying situation.
So,
That
man, look, I got nothing to lose. Both my favorite team just lost, so I don't really care what happens now in the playoffs.
No, but you still have Celtics, no? I mean, I think we're coming to that series
ठीक
now.
है, I mean, I'm
Are they?
not that emotionally connected to Celtics. Like, I
Are,
don't even know who they have on their bench, for example. I can, Warriors, I could name every bench player and I, would follow their
yeah, yeah,
statistics
yeah.
and all. Celtics are
Are
like,
we previewing Celtics Heat or?
no. So we'll close the show today. Guys, one small announcement. So there's just a couple of you here. Uh, but this, I'm still waiting a confirmation from our venue partner. But most likely, if this is through and if the venue is through, we're just working out the dates. We're going to host a watch party on Sunday morning, 21st morning, for the game three of the Western Conference Finals, Nuggets Lakers. So make sure you stay tuned to Eklavya's. You can follow Eklavya's at B-Ball India. The handle is right there.
Yeah.
And you can follow us on WhatsApp. We'll be sharing the details about how you can join the watch party. So stay tuned. We are just finalizing the details of the venue partner. He's not yet confirmed. But yeah, this is something I wanted to announce. So Gopal, anything else you want to share?
No, no, awesome, man. This will be like the first offline event that Eclavias has ever actually been involved in.
Okay,
So this is huge, and yeah, anyone in Bangalore, like for example, Vishnu Srinimas, we saw his comment. So
right,
there are a lot of Bangalore NBA hardcore fans.
right.
So look forward to meeting all of you in person on Sunday
21st.
morning. Yeah.
Yes, Sunday morning. So guys, stay tuned for the details. We'll be sharing it on all of Eklavya's handle on the YouTube channel as well. Just waiting for some confirmation from the venue partner. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you all most likely tomorrow. Bye guys.